Because it's so out of context.
Yeah, so then we had
It's down by memory. Yep.
You can see that they were drawn in a slightly side front top view.
A mystery box! Alright, let's check it out. The meatballs.
What's something you've done?
Okay, I'm about English.
How dare you?
Hey guys.
Hey.
Cowboy, sir.
Because it's so out of context.
Yeah, so then we had
It's down by memory. Yep.
You can see that they were drawn in a slightly side front top view.
A mystery box! Alright, let's check it out. The meatballs.
What's something you've done?
Okay, I'm about English.
How dare you?
Hey guys.
Hey.
Cowboy, sir.
Because it's so out of context.
Yeah, so then we had
It's down by memory. Yep.
You can see that they were drawn in a slightly side front top view.
A mystery box! Alright, let's check it out. The meatballs.
What's something you've done?
Okay, I'm about English.
How dare you?
Hey guys.
Hey. because it's so out of context.
Yeah, so then we have
Break down my memory. Yep. Okay.
you can see that they were drawn in a slightly side front top.
Oh, a mystery box. All right, let's check it out. The meatballs.
What's something you've done?
Who cares about English?
How dare you?
Hey guys.
Hey.
Cowboy, sir.
Because it's so out of context.
Yeah, so then we have
Break down my memory. Yep. Okay.
you can see that they were drawn in a slightly side front top.
Oh, a mystery box. All right, let's check it out. The meatballs.
What's something you've done?
Who cares about English?
How dare you?
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey, A2CN live, you know it's our favorite time. Turn it up and listen up and let's go take a dive. It's the show that does the most, and yes, we're streaming coast to coast. Bump it up and buckle up and let's go take a drive. Engaging the culture and spending our sense. Too many reasons we gotta speak in. 3 Dazy Rosie's still relevant. For college students, ladies and gents, relating, connecting, reflecting, very thought provoking. Acts to life, yeah, that's right. A2CN live right now.
Hello everyone and welcome to A2CN Live. We're your hosts. My name is Steven.
I'm Esther.
And my name hasn't changed. It's
I forgot it.
Justin.
I forgot your name,
It's
actually.
Justin.
Awesome. If you are joining us for the first time, you're probably wondering what A2CN is. Well, let me tell you. A2CN is an online Christian organization reaching college students everywhere. We're creating tools, we're creating content like this one, and community for students to talk about God, the Bible, life, and meaning over the internet.
And if you want to watch, we'll be streaming the show live every week. That's right, it's a show where we sit around, incorporate audience engagement, and then dig into the topic of the week and what the Bible has to say about it.
So don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share, and follow our Instagram page at A2CN right there.
Awesome. All right, let's get the show on the road. Justin, let's go.
Yes, so to start off today, we'll be starting with a flame war in the comment section. That's right, where we'll be politely debating some of the most important questions of our time. So we'll be showing some of the questions on the screen, 2 specifically, and we'd like you guys, the audience, to post your answers in the chat. But because we're all friends here, we have to set some ground rules. Number 1, play nice. No punching, kicking, or scratching. As in, don't harass or insult other people. Number 2, disagree politely, even when you know the other person is wrong. For example, I already know half of you are going to be wrong, but that's okay because we're all friends here, right guys?
We're all friends.
Yeah.
We'd like everyone to speak up and voice their opinion in the chat to argue about these critical issues. So here's our first question. Is this justifiable? Long answer short is no, it's not justifiable.
Oh, wait, well, what is going on here?
So this is a bagel that is cut like a piece of bread into little slices.
No, I was skeptical at first.
No.
But this is genius.
I'm still skeptical.
It's
No.
snackable. It's easy to share.
No.
There is good cream
No.
cheese
This
dipping
is
ratio.
the St. Louis style bagel, and that's how I know there's something up in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Whenever you go to St. Louis, don't trust the people
My
around
I'm
you.
not going
roommate's
there.
from St. Louis, guys.
Oh my gosh, you room with a monster.
Honestly. All right.
Sorry.
Next question is probably the most important question to humanity yet, and it is: Did the top stop spinning at the end of Inception?
Sorry, Ting is like, I'm not a monster.
I live with Esther. Esther, please don't do this at home.
Wow.
Okay, did the top stop spinning?
Oh, I'm sorry.
The answer is yes. It did stop spinning.
No, I
by the
thought
way.
it was. I thought he was still dreaming. I thought it.
Y'all
it
are
didn't
both
stop.
wrong. It doesn't matter. By that time in the character arc, he's leaving that behind because he doesn't need it anymore.
Basically, you just don't want to answer the question because you're afraid of being wrong.
No,
Esther's
no.
also wrong, and I'm right. And everyone
Okay,
else who said
Justin.
yes is also right. So shout out to all of you in the chat. And that's the end of our flame war.
job, everybody.
Hopefully it was polite. It seems really polite
was
judging
not
from
polite.
the chat. And
All right, moving on.
Moving on.
All right, now it's TART time. T-A-R-T, Tarty time. Talks about random things. And today we get to hear from Colby, who's going to impart on us some random interesting thing. It's quite the art. Take it away, Colby.
Let's go, Colby.
Stop! Are you actually eating cheese? My name is Colby, like the cheese, and that's what I'll be talking about. It turns out that there might be more to that Kraft single than you thought. If you were to ask the average American if they wanted a grilled cheese sandwich, they're probably thinking of this. But actually, what if I told you that that wasn't cheese? So first, a little bit of background on what cheese is. You start with milk, then you mix it and boil. Then you add certain enzymes. These enzymes make the milk curdle. Think of cottage cheese, milk chunks sitting in water liquid. Basically, you strain the chunks and add whatever flavoring at this point. This is where every variety of cheese comes from. Go from pale milk chunks to all the colors you know, golden cheddar to marble blue. But what's really important is that you add salt to the cheese. This is what allows it to age safely and be free of bad bacteria, which is why cheese making is an age-old tradition. At this point, you take your cheese, your cheddar, your Colby, your Monterey Jack, and you age it. The longer you age it, the stronger and sharper the taste is. Okay, going back to Kraft singles. In Kraft's own words, you take some cheddar cheese, you add more milk to it and more plant extracts, but you also add something called emulsifiers, which basically allow the fat and the protein of the cheese to stay together. This is what gives it its uniform melting ability, and which is why they're so good for grilled cheese. For this reason, all the extra stuff added to it, the FDA has ruled that Kraft cannot refer to Kraft singles as cheese. They have to call it cheese product. So next time you eat something with a Kraft single, are you eating cheese? No. Are you eating something that tastes good? Up to you. And that's the tart for the day.
Wow. I knew those Kraft singles were too Gouda be true. Get it? Gouda?
Justin doesn't like
the
cheesy
cheese?
jokes. But big shout out to Cindy, who is actually eating cheese, and Joseph for that wow, you roasted Colby. That was awesome.
All right, since puns are just not your guys' thing, we'll just jump into our topic of the week. And this week, we're in our second part of our two-part series called Unstuck, where we'll be talking about the kinds of things college students often get stuck in and don't know how to get out of.
And the topic of this week is relational tension. And just like our topic last week, loneliness, this relational tension, probably something we're all experiencing a little more these days, being at home, sheltering in place, all that. So let's roll our intro clip.
This is Josh. This is Duncan. They're roommates. Best friends. Except not today.
Hey Duncan, just saw you missed our last study group session over Zoom. Oh, we were supposed to work on the math homework together.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, sorry about that. I was busy.
Oh, you were busy?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
That's fine.
You okay?
Yeah, just, you know, we were supposed to work on the last one together too, and you didn't show up to that Zoom either. Just doesn't seem fair to me.
Fair? Really? What about science? I wrote all the labs.
What about English? I proofread all your essays. You didn't even know what a thesis was.
Who cares about English?
How dare you?
Oh, hey guys.
Hey.
Sup?
Hey, did you guys finish the last problem of math homework? You know, the one with the really big proof at the end?
Haven't started yet.
Oh no. You guys know it's due tomorrow, right?
What?
Oh, next week?
No, it's due tomorrow.
Oh.
Oh,
what?
snap.
Well, good luck.
Hey, you read that. I saw you read that.
Josh and Duncan are stuck. Relational tension sucks. Find out how to get unstuck with A2CN Live.
Thanks for that skit. Man, that is so relatable. I've never been left on message read. Let's keep going. All right, well, to open our topic today, we're going to be playing a little guessing game, and we've asked our friends Josh and Elton to help us. Josh, Elton, you guys here?
Yeah.
Nice, awesome. All right, so relational tension is something we all experience, so it's not surprising that you see it on all our shows, all our media, all our movies, everything. In fact, if you don't have tension in a show, you have nothing. You don't have a plot, right? So we've asked Josh and Elton to reenact some famous scenes of relational tension, and for all of you watching, your job is to guess what show or movie and characters they're reenacting in the chat. Extra points if you can name the exact title, episode, or movie. As soon as you know it, type in the chat, guess what they're reenacting. So, scene one, you guys ready?
Sure.
Go!
What do you know about true love?
Well, more than you. All you know is how to shut people out.
You asked for my blessing, and the answer is no. Now, excuse me.
But Josh, wait!
My
wait.
glove.
Josh, please, I can't live like this anymore.
Then leave.
What did I ever do to you?
Enough, Elton.
Josh, why do you try to shut me out? Why do you try to shut the world out? What are you so afraid of, Josh?
I said enough.
Josh!
Yes. Easy money, I saw you. Easy money, I saw you. Credit goes to you for being the first one to get it right. Frozen. Here we go. Even though they look nothing like Elsa and Anna, man, I think they pulled it off pretty good. All right. Here we go for the second scene. You guys ready for it?
Let's go.
Go for it.
I think I'll eat it now. I think I'll eat it now. Wait, where's my chocolate bar? Did I drop it? No, wait. Aha! You stole my chocolate bar!
No, this is my chocolate bar.
Liar, liar, plants for hire.
It's pants on fire, Elton.
Well, you would know. Liar.
Fine, if you're gonna be that way, I'll just eat it myself.
Don't you dare. No, don't. I'm warning you. No, don't. No, Josh. Josh, no. Josh, my chocolate bar. Josh, you're a crazy person. I knew it after you stole that balloon.
All right, I think I saw Jordan's eye and then easy money in a close second. So thank you guys for guessing. Man, I think we just gotta appreciate the similarities here.
Yeah, look at that. That red tie.
This is so funny.
That's so Josh. That's so Josh.
That is so Elton.
I think they actually based the characters on Josh and Elton. All right, we are setting up for the third scene, but man, let's just hear it in the chat for these guys. Like, this is awesome, right?
Let's see.
Dude, okay. Scene 3, let's go.
Oh, that's kind of blurry. That's better. Question. Which kind of bear is best?
That's a ridiculous question.
False. Black bear.
Oh, that's debatable. There's basically two schools.
Fact. Bears eat beets.
What? What?
Bears, beets, Battlestar Galactica.
Bears do not. What is going on? What are you doing? Oh, I get it. I see. They say imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. So for that, I thank you. Identity theft is not a joke, Elton. Millions of families suffer every year.
Michael!
Oh, that's funny. Michael!
Yeah, Playman! Nice. Wow. All right, I saw Joseph Campella. You were the first. Good job, man. Good job. All right, well, hope you enjoyed that. And now that we're all warmed up and relaxed about this topic of relational tension, I think it's time, guys. I think it's time to get rid of the elephant in the room. So while we get rid of this guy, we are going to watch a video diving a little deeper into this topic of relational tension through a roundtable discussion that I had with a few of our friends at A2CN Live, Kim, Clarice, Josh, and Colby. Let's roll that, and we'll get rid of this guy.
Roundtable, take 2. Action.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for coming today. The topic that we're going to discuss is relational tension, and we just wanted to get your guys' thoughts about that. Cool? Sound good? So the first question, I'm just going to open it up. Answer if you feel comfortable, whatever. Who do you get into relational tension with the most?
My housemates, those I live with.
Yeah, same.
Do you guys live with each other?
Yes.
All right, got the right people on. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, I would also say my roommate. It's just like we spend the most time together, so I feel like it's bound to have the most tension there.
Makes sense. Okay, a little spin on the question. Who did you experience relational tension the most with during shelter in place?
Yeah, I think I experienced a lot of tension just living with family. Just, you know, like, yeah, you're stuck at home, you can't go out, and just is like, yeah, the situation kind of sucks. And like, I think also just with family, you know, it's family, right? It's just like, you guys always, you know, get into fights and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. All gloves are off with family.
Yeah, I think we just have different approaches or styles. So I think I like things a particular way, but Kim is more like, you know, if it works, it works. And so we kind of
Clash,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like Kim had laundered our towels and she left them on the couch, and I was like, oh, why'd you leave it there? And then she came out of her room. She was like, oh, like I washed the towels.
Oh, nice.
No,
right? Yeah.
So I was like, oh, thank you. Like, but why'd you leave it on the couch? And she was like, oh, I don't know where it goes. I was like, okay, like it's been a year, and you've never gotten a new towel, or I was like, okay, whatever. But like, can you put it away? And then she was like, oh, I don't know where it goes. And then she left or something. And then I got up in the middle of the night, like to go to the bathroom, and then like I just see in the corner of my eye that the towels were still on the couch. And I was why? Like, why did you? It's right there. You just put it away.
I was sleeping.
Yeah, so the pain of bringing it up is even more than the pain of just like enduring it and hoping it'll go away, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, why is it so painful? Why do you think it's like so painful to bring up, you know, and talk about relational tension?
I think a big part of it is just like your pride. Like, I don't want to have to apologize. I don't want to have to say I was in the wrong in any situation, and that's kind of what bringing it up implies. Because usually in a tension, like you have some sort of blame in it.
Could you tell me more about that? Because I don't know what that's like. I'm not proud of it. I'm just kidding.
Really?
No, I totally feel you on that. Yeah.
I think it takes apologizing first, which is hard. Even though I think apologizing first also sort of makes the other person apologize back as well.
It makes the other person apologize. Wait, I apologize, so you have to know.
There's part of the problem is needing to apologize first. So it's hard to be the first one to apologize.
Yeah, because of pride, right?
Yeah.
Which you guys are talking about. I don't know what that is.
Even though actually, I think apologizing first helps the other person to apologize back.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, like sometimes if you eat your pride, you swallow it, and you apologize first, the other person will too. But I think it's also true that it's kind of a risk, right? Like, it's not guaranteed that the other person's gonna apologize. Like, you might say, hey, I'm sorry. And you're just like, what's happening next? You're like, hello, you know? And like, it's a risk, you know?
Yeah, I think that's what makes it so hard because,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, oh, if I apologize, they say I'm sorry, and then like they don't. It's like, oh, well, I just lost.
It's like an L, bro.
Yeah, yeah, you know, because no one wants to lose in that kind of conflict, right?
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
so hard, you know. I think that's why it's like, yeah.
Yeah. So that's really interesting because I think what we're getting at is this idea of like relationships need to have some kind of equilibrium. You know, they need to have some kind of fairness to them, right? If I apologize, you apologize, right? I did that wrong thing. Maybe I did like 2 wrong things, but hey, you did 5. You know, or yeah, you know, we kind of keep track, we kind of keep score like that, and kind of what we're aiming for most of the time is just like equilibrium, fairness. But even that's not guaranteed, right? Because you should never know. I'm just curious, like, do you guys think that's actually possible, like, to get fairness, to get equilibrium? Just really quick. No, wow, really? Okay, and just can you tell me more about that?
I think if you're to try to like tally up scores, you know, like my side versus their side, I think, I don't know, but for my own personal experience, like it can be really hard to be objective, you know. I can think about like times where I messed up, you know, I did this or that, but then it's like, oh, like, you know, I just, you know, that's not actually me. I just messed up that one time. I'm not like that, you know, or I just won't even remember.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just like, but then like, you know, if it's like my housemate or something, like, oh, he's always like this. He always does this one thing, like, you know, and it's so easy to remember like how I've been wronged and I've been grieved by other people.
That's so true. That's so true. Is there an alternative to fairness then? Is there a better alternative to fairness? It seems so natural to like keep score, right? And to like keep those tallies and then try to even that out. That might be the best we can do. But I'm just wondering if you guys can come up with some kind of grand solution right now for relational harmony. It's hard, yeah. Well, I just wanted to read a verse from the Bible with you guys. And I just want your gut reaction to it, your honest gut reaction to the Bible, okay? Here's what the Bible has to say about how we should deal with relational tension. In Colossians chapter 3, it says, "Put on then, as God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, put on compassionate hearts, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience, bearing with one another. And if one has a complaint against another, forgiving each other. As the Lord has forgiven you, so you also must forgive." Gut reactions.
That sounds really hard. I think it sounds like, yeah, like that's what I would want in a relationship, like forgiveness, patience, kindness. But I think in the moment of relational tension, it's a lot easier to just let your emotions take over and you're like, forgiveness, like patience, like, I don't know about this one. So I think it sounds really cool in concept, but I think in a lot of like our actual tensions, it's hard to like bring that in.
Yeah, I would agree. I think honestly it feels pretty like unrealistic. You know, I think especially like in circumstances where like, let's say you have to be like, you know, the quote unquote like bigger person and like, you know, say sorry when the other person doesn't want to like apologize. Like it just feels like like it's like almost like a party has to like die almost, you know. It's like it's really hard. Yeah.
So it's like it's presenting an alternative to fairness, but it's like you're still stuck at fairness. You know, it's still like fairness still seems like a more viable option maybe. All right, well, thank you guys for just sharing honestly and sharing with us your own experiences around relational tension. That was a really great conversation. So yeah, thank you.
Man, there is so much to unpack from that conversation. I had a good time just talking with those guys, but I left the conversation feeling a little unresolved, you know, because on one hand you got fairness and equilibrium, and on the other hand you have this biblical picture, right? It says, put on all this good stuff, put on compassionate hearts, kindness, humility, meekness, you know, bear with one another, forgive, and all that sounds really great, but it just doesn't seem realistic, right? So I want to talk to you guys about this and see your thoughts. I mean, do you guys think fairness is a good goal? I mean, and what do you think about what the Bible has to say about this?
Yeah, fairness seems like a good goal. You know, like, what's the alternative, right?
Yeah.
Like unfairness. It's
Yeah.
like it's not like people are striving for unfairness. So.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big advocate for keeping things fair, but then in the context of relationships, like just echoing Kim's statement, like it's hard, especially when you see how powerful your pride is. Like the last thing you want to do is be meek and patient in the heat of conflict because it can be demeaning. I think, but what the Bible says is interesting though, because you kind of always see yourself as the one bearing with this other person. Like, I have to put up with this dramatic and complicated person, but it's only a second thought where you're like, oh, wait a minute, this person has to bear with me too.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah, and so it seems like in the moment of relational tension, we really skew towards ourselves, our perspective, everything. I mean, it becomes really one-sided.
Yeah, and actually, like, upon further thinking about it, it's like we only really enjoy fairness when we're on like the right side. You know, like when we have something to gain, and someone else wronged us, you're like, oh, we want it to be fair. You know, we need to get what's coming to us. But then when we flip it and we're on the wrong, and someone's like coming after us and they're trying to like exact revenge, it's just like, you know, like relax. You know, like it's just a prank. You know, like calm down, right? And actually, I have a story I'd like to share. About a time something like this happened. I wasn't actually in the wrong, and you'll see why. So basically, there's a good friend of mine, and there's like this weird period where we would start buying meals. Well, we started buying meals for each other every time we'd go out. Like, so, like, he would pick up the bill, and then the next time we ate, I would pick up the bill. And it was like this unspoken agreement where we never actually, like, said it out loud, like, oh, we're going to do this thing. It was more just like, oh, you know, like, it happened this way. So there's this unspoken agreement, and, you know, the one day he buys the meal, and then a couple days later, we go out to eat again. And so it's my turn to buy, and we walk into the restaurant, and in my head, I'm, like, 100% intent on buying the meal because like it's my turn. 100, you know, like without a doubt, right? I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this one. Right? I didn't tell him though because it was unspoken. And you know, we're looking at the menu on the wall. We're walking up to the cash register, and then before we hit the cash register, he turns towards me and he goes like, oh, so I bought the last one, so thanks for getting this one, bro. And I was just like, all right. Like, you know, and I bought him the meal. I was like, okay, you know, like, here's your meal, buddy. But then, you know, like, inside, I really did not want to buy him that meal. And even when I gave it to him, I wanted to be like, eat your meal, you know? So it was fair. It was fair for him to, like, try and, like, get that meal. But it caused, you know, like, a lot of relational tensions.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, like, it's interesting because, like, fairness, it shows that fairness comes really naturally to us. Because you guys didn't have to talk about it. And you're like, well, you got the last one, so I got the next one, right? But then when fairness like became the goal, when it was like, hey, we got to be fair, that hurt your friendship. You know, that actually caused some relational damage. And so that's really interesting that fairness made things worse in that case. But if you contrast that with this other picture where it's like, you know, you go over to someone's house and they cook a meal for you. Maybe it's like steak, filet mignon, like, you know, shrimp, salmon, all that stuff. And they cook it for you and they put it before you. And of course you're thinking like, dude, who's going to pay for all this? And your friend goes, nah, I got you. Don't worry. You know, don't worry about it.
It's a good friend.
Yeah, so that's a good friend, right? I mean, there's something about that really warms our hearts. Or like the example of like a mom, you know, mother and a child, like you can't imagine that relationship, like that fairness is the goal of that relationship, right?
Yeah, that reminds me of this one commercial. It's called The World's Toughest Job. So basically, it's a fake job interview, but with real people. And so the interviewer tells them about the job description, which goes a little bit like this. So you have to stand all the time. It's a 24-hour shift, so you have no breaks. You have to have a degree in medicine, finance, the culinary arts, and you don't get any vacations, and your salary is zero, all right? So the interviewees are like, nah, this job is not for me. But then the interviewer says, what if I told you that there is someone right now that currently holds this position, billions of people actually, and they're like, who? And he says, moms.
Everyone call your moms after this show, all right?
Okay, then, Justin. Got a little dust in your eye?
Justin's good. I think these stories, I mean, like that, it's just a commercial, but it moves us, you know, and those examples I gave really move us and they inspire us. And I think the kicker is that none of them have to do with fairness, right? In fact, it's the opposite. We get moved by examples of like a mom and a child because it's so unfair. And I think that's something we intuitively understand about love. Right? Love is not about fairness, right? Love, when relationships of love that are life-giving, that are strengthening, that are comforting, they're not about fairness. And if you try to make them about fairness, you're gonna wreck that relationship. It's gonna dry out. It's gonna shrivel up. So, like going back to this passage, Colossians 3, you know, when you first read it, you're like, ha ha, sounds good, buddy, but no way, right? Like that's how it feels when you read it. But if you take a closer look, it says, bear with one another. You know, forgive each other. In other words, let go of fairness, right? It's actually touching on something really profound and really key to having deep, long-lasting relationships.
And actually, I think something that people might be feeling, that I know I personally feel, is when reading something like this, there's a part of me that's all like, yes, I'm on board, forgiveness, like love, we're all friends, woo, unfairness
I'll buy
is
you
great.
5 meals.
Exactly. But then there's like that part, and then there's the other part, which is just like, if I feel wronged, there needs to be justice, right? Like, where is the law and order? When someone like wrongs me, who's gonna pay for that? So like, just having those two things in tension, it just makes like trying to live this so difficult.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
No, definitely. Like the Bible never says it's gonna be easy, right? And it's not easy. It's really hard. You have this tension inside of you between like unfair love and justice, right? And like, what do I do with that? I think that's why when we actually see unfair love, when you see an extraordinary act of forgiveness, or when you yourself experience unfair love, it's that much more amazing. Because fairness is the default, right? And unfair love is so rare. And so when you see it or you experience it yourself, you're just like, what just happened, And actually, I think it's really striking that this tension we feel inside of us gets worked out at the heart of Christianity. Actually, at the heart of the gospel message is this tension between unfair love and justice. What we see is God is a God of unfair love. He puts up with, he bears with, he forgives, and he puts up with sinners, right? And he never treats us as we deserve. But instead, he himself experiences the greatest unfairness for us. Jesus Christ, God in the flesh, dying on the cross for our sins. Even though he's completely innocent, he pays the penalty for our sins, right? It's justice, and it's the amazing, unfair love of God for us. And that's the heart of Christianity.
And actually, to wrap up, I wanted to read a quote for you guys by philosopher Frederick Buechner. So, yes, here goes. The love for equals is a human thing. A friend for friend, brother for brother. It is to love what is loving and lovely. The world smiles. The love for the less fortunate is a beautiful thing. The love for those who suffer, for those who are poor, the sick, the failures, the unlovely. This is compassion, and it touches the heart of the world. The love for the more fortunate is a rare thing. To love those who succeed where we fail, to rejoice without envy with those who rejoice, the love of the poor for the rich, of the black man for the white man. The world is always bewildered by its saints. And then there is the love for the enemy. Love for the one who does not love you, but mocks, threatens, and inflicts pain. The tortured's love for the torturer. This is God's love. It conquers the world.
Wow, that's deep. Man, you hear something like that and you just don't... What can you say, But I think it just makes you wonder, and it makes you think, like, what kind of relationships would I have? What kind of world would this world be if we really understood that this is God's love, and we tried to move toward the people in our lives with this kind of unfair love, with bearing with them, forgiving them, right, and moving toward them in that way? That would be something, right? That would be quite amazing. So that wraps up our discussion on relational tension. And I hope you guys enjoyed this 2-part series of Unstuck. But man, we've got way more in store, and we are very excited to announce those things to you. So I'm gonna hand it over to Esther. She's gonna tell you about something called Friends of Food.
Yeah, Friends and Food. So Friends and Food is a new show by A2CN where a bunch of friends film themselves cooking a meal, eating together, and talking about some aspect of relationships. They send us their footage, and we put the highlights together in a video. It's just a way of bringing people together and have a good time around the dinner table. So here's a preview of that first episode.
Let's go.
The spag, the meatballs.
I accidentally found more than $700.
Yeah.
One cup.
Is that one cup?
I mean, this looks like one cup.
Only the first serious? 1/8 of a teaspoon. And some of that parsley was supposed to go to me.
For each episode, some friends will cook a simple, budget-friendly, yet mouth-watering meal, and while they eat, they'll talk about different aspects of their friendship based on the theme chosen that week.
What are your first impressions of each other?
A picture of one of the other friends.
Overall meal and conversation. 1, 2, 3, yeah! Friends and Food, episode 1, signing out.
Nice.
Nice. So actually, we're opening Friends and Food to you. If you'd like to be on Friends and Food, sign up through the form in the description, and we'll send you a recipe, a topic, an activity, and have you on the show.
Nice. And next week, we're going to be here, same time, same place, 7:30 p.m. And starting next week, we'll be going through a new series called, wait for it, Small Talk, Big Questions. Basically, we want to answer your questions about Christianity. If you've ever had any questions about Christianity, if you never got them answered, or you have any doubts that you didn't know what to do with, we want to hear from you, and we want to try to answer your questions on this show. If there's any topic or question you would like answered in the coming weeks, go ahead and leave that in a comment, and we'll try to get to it.
All right. If y'all enjoyed what you saw this week, you know what to do.
LCNS.
That's not an acronym. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe. All right.
LCNS.
It is now. All right. See you guys next week.
Man, Josh, another week of A2CN Live in the books. That's
Yeah,
what
man,
it
it's
is.
good stuff.
Killed it.
Yep.
What are you doing?
Eat a bagel St. Louis style?
Wait, Josh, you can't do that.
Wait, this is the best form
No,
of bagel.
you're not. No.
The ratio of surface area to
Josh,
schmear is
no.
optimized.
Wait, so it's schmear.
Yeah, it's schmear.
So you schmear.
No, look,
it on
I'm
the
schmearing.
No, you schmear it on the
How
bagel.
dare you insult
Wait,
the-
Josh! Ow! Josh!
Ah!